Boom, we are up, boys. So anybody hitting us on the rewatch? We're up. Now, I'm trying to figure out, is there a way that I can pin this chat so every time I touch my screen, it doesn't fucking disappear on us, boys? But I haven't quite figured that one out yet. There's got to be a way, boys. There's got to be a way. Docs, chat. Oh, made the chat disappear. YouTube live control panel. What is this? What's this button do? Select stream. This one? Ah. It just looks like it's I don't know. I suppose just shows you stuff that's going on. Your connection. Not really too sure. Nothing really important. But what we'll do, we'll see if I got. Okay, I got the chat back. So let's put this over here. There's no way to pin it, which is super annoying. Like when you, let's say, use your cloud phone and you can just pin it somewhere and then you can muck around with stuff. Like anytime I interact with something, it's going to be taken away from us. Taylor, what's good? What's good, fam? Boom. Now, I've kind of figured it out in a way that if I set my screen up right, it's not so bright. Like if I just go full screen on the cloud phone, the background of LD Cloud, it gives like a really strange blue background. And it's kind of awkward too. So the whole thing that made me move over to this style of stream is mainly because when I was trying to full screen mode the stream with the LD Cloud, it off-centers it, and it just looks so strange off-centered, boys. Like it's just really weird. There's other cloud phones out there, or there's emulators out there, and they don't look so weird. So if you just full screen it, it makes all the background black. Probably quite similar to, who does a stream like that? Dr. Trashbag. I think Ryan's using iOS, but maybe that's like what happens when you full screen the app in iOS. But on the cloud phone, it's a little bit funny, boys. It's a little bit funny. Did you join the bracket already? Nah, I haven't joined the bracket already. Nah, not yet. XL Daily, what's good? I just thought that I would jump on this first. I don't know. First stream with the cam, boys. I was also playing around with different positions to put it. I think I know where I want to put the cam. So I want to put it more in another spot. But the only problem is I don't have any way to mount it. Or I haven't quite figured it out. Like how you're supposed to mount these things, boys. But once I figure that out, we'll get it in a good position. But it's kind of to stop me from going like this so much. And then going like that. One super creepy ass thing with the basic software that you can download is the different settings. So the same setting that I use to blur the background. Woo! There's one for your eyes. So if I look over here to the chat panel, it will make it look like I'm looking at you. But then the problem that I found, or the weird thing that I found, is like every time I was turning like this and I was going like that, it was making my eyes go crazy. So I was like this. Don't know if you guys can see it if you're viewing it on your phone, but if you're watching it, it just looks super crazy. It actually looked like I was possessed. Like I was like showing the kids, and they were like, "Whoa!" It was super creepy. I tell you what movie I do want to see is Evil Dead, the new one that come out. Because I always remember that was like, it always used to be playing at my nan's house. Like my uncles were always watching scary movies and that. Who's this handsome Kiwi? Xenomorph, what's good? What's good? Mind if I join you? Yeah, go ahead, bro. Hopefully we get ourselves a nice good one. In the center of the tower, it needs to be... Oh, we did have a play... Bro, I was like... I was doing these ones, boys. Let's hope that I don't butcher it. So, where's the webcam? So, I was doing this. I was doing that with the webcam. But I like cropped it out. So it's like this. I like cropped it out and I made it so it was like just my head. And then like if I just stayed in frame and stayed still, it was just my head was the tower. But if you imagine it like that, it was kind of like that, just a floating head. But that's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. But yeah, what else, boys? What else? My Task by Hero finally updated, so I'm finally getting chests again. Not gonna lie, it was a bit of a slog playing the game with all the chest bugs and that. But like now that all the chests are dropping, we're up, boys. We're up. I was actually talking with my young fella too tonight, and he's keen to jump on some streams and that, and then we just stream something else, whatever it looks like. Try to do a bit of a duo or something like that. It's perfect over there. I'm gonna move the chat, so hopefully it's on the screen. But I'm sure whenever I interact with something else, it plays up, like the chat disappears. Oh wait, no, I think we got it. Boys. Make sure you get the free relics if you haven't. Yeah, 5% damage, eh? Let's go, boys. How's it supposed to notify us? Because I was doing the trick that XL Daily taught me where you just log in and log out, or yeah, you do something, but surely there's got to be an easier way than that, Uncle Fuds. Uncle Fuds, I'm talking to you. But look how much this hobby's evolved, boys. We're webcammed up. We're evolving now, boys. We are evolving. What's our battle conditions? Where's Discord? Let's have a look-see, boys. What are we looking at? Where is it? Legends? Alright, we've got orb resistance, thorn resistance. I'm not too fussed on thorn resistance, but the thing that I hate about it is if, like, with thorns you can kind of like drill stuff down to a certain point and then it goes to touch your tower, or it's going to take one of your shields and you just know you're going to polish it off. Probably on the only good thing about it, it just means that like now everything's automated. It's not so much of a timing thing. Like I remember that was pretty grueling, and I always used to miss the times all the time. I was always missing it. Like it's like demon mode now or demon mode after that, and then like obviously you want to roll Death Defies and you don't know if you're gonna get it and all that sort of thing. Protector's Ultimate, I always hate Protector's Ultimate. Basic Ultimate, Fast Ultimate, Death Defy down, no. Is what it is. Is what it is, boys. We're not gonna cry over spilt milk. Candy Crush Duo. Candy. I was saying to my son, you're probably gonna have to play games that I play. Or like, you know, we jump into some MMOs and we go gank some people or something like that. And my son's like, oh, we should play scary games. I think that'll be pretty cool. Be pretty cool jumping on some scary games. But I've got like quite a like, I don't mind playing a bunch of games, but like the type of games that I like, they're pretty narrow. I like that, I don't know what they call it. It's like that power fantasy, you know, like you start off the character's weak as shit, you build the character up, and then you can just, the stuff that were problems in the earlier stage, you can absolutely obliterate it. Like there's something about that. Like running maps. Like all the ARPGs, and you like run maps, and then you can just like speed farm the earlier maps or the earlier levels, and there's just something about just nuking an entire screen and trying to make your PC keep up with it. And you just hear the fans, yeah. Like the fans are just like clocking double time, like what? Like, run, dun, 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 dun. There's something about it, boys. For our first stream with a webcam. We're up, boys. We're up. Junior, what's good? What's good, fam? All good? You guys got shit weather over there too? It's pretty rubbish over here. It's cold. It's cold. To XL Daily, it's hot. So when you go to his department, bro, there's a spot in his department, and it's kind of like the main storage, and it snows. Like it's so cold it snows. Like how cold is it in there, bro? Minus a gajillion. Enough that if you go over there when you're hungover, it'll wake you up real quick. Like it opens up your nasal passage. And then when you leave it, your like nasal passage is like stuffy. All good, bro, chilling. Starting to get real cold over here. Yep. Put the heater back out. It's quite funny, because like everybody overseas, they'll be starting to cook. And then all of us down here are freezing. I don't know what the temperature is here, but it's just getting started. It's just warming up, boys. It gets pretty crazy cold here. Like the region that we're in this weird little pocket. It's like where the sea level is. It's like we're in this weird little pocket, and we're surrounded by hills and ranges. And there's big ranges like to that way of us. There's big ranges. And then the other towns and areas behind us are up high. So kind of where XL Daily lives, it's like up high. And then where we are, we're like down in this lower part. And it's just like the whole town was actually a swamp back in the days. And then they went out to just out of town, and just by horse and carriage and train and whatever, just kept carting mountain loads of dirt and basically just filled in this entire swamp. And then that eventually become the town where I'm from. Where's our time? Quarter past. We'll probably start getting ready for tourney. Got to do the inventory management on the side game. The one that Peter always growls me for playing. Because I don't focus. I'm too busy losing focus. Bro, I'm so glad we got chess back. So glad we got chess back, bro. It was grueling. Not gonna lie, like I had a few parts where I was just like, I wasn't really having a bar of it. I was like, fuck, not even logging in today. I can't even get any chess, boys. Can't even get any chess. On stream vaping the goat. Oh, fuck, are we not allowed? Oh, they're going to take my creator code away if we're vaping on stream. Is it Harambe? Do we have to do these ones? Do we have to do these ones, boys? Do we have to do those ones? Has YouTube got to age restrict us? I think I've already got age restriction up. Like these ones, where you have to do that one. Remember that kid in class at school? And that kid in class always used to pick their nose like that? Like nobody knew what you were doing under there, bro. we all knew what you were doing under there. It's like when XL Daily used to pick his nose like this at school. Like no one knew what he was up to. Like that, eh? When it's story time after lunch. Like story time after lunch, bro, because like all the kids have had a massive burnout and the teacher's just trying to put you to sleep so they can go camp in the corner, eh? Go camp on their cell phones. It wasn't even cell phones then, go camp on their book. Show yourself, Ryan. We all want to see our favourite sperm whale. Vaping in the tower is elite duo. I'm all for it. I do it too. Bro, I'm a vape fiend, eh? I'm a vape fiend. Sucking outside the tower so you don't suck within the 300 IQ. Nothing wrong with vaping. I do it all the time. I'm just thinking about YouTube. Fuck, because, bro, I'm not going to lie, boys. I haven't even read any of YouTube's terms and conditions. Because I'm one of those guys where it's like, fuck, I don't really care, eh? I know they've, like, hit me heaps for music. They've hit me heaps for music. But they haven't really hit me for anything else. But I'll probably get to a stage where some random Karen will accidentally stumble across you, eh? Accidentally stumble across you and like that, eh? Not good for your teeth, gotta brush them multiple times a day. Alright. Let's warm up into this. I do it all the time while streaming too. Alright, go home? No, surrender. Oh, surrender. Kills me every time, boys. Claim it. Let's go. Kind of nervous about Range Ultimate. Shockwave. I'll leave that locked. Landmine radius. We'll unlock that. We need that. Switch our cards up. I'm not expecting anything crazy. We haven't done anything crazy, boys. It's all samey. It's all samey, boys. There's nothing like groundbreaking that's happened this week. I think the only thing I've been putting a little bit of investment into is kind of like this sort of stuff. So I might take this up to 20. And then work on the triangle. I think the triangle's next. Substat efficiency, multiply efficiency. The multiply efficiency gives me 2 cents of nothing. But I think like a lot of the upgrades, it's like, it's kind of like working on the foundation. So even though, yeah, it's 2 cents of nothing, it's still, we're still playing catch up. Still playing catch up. We've been punching above our weight for some time, boys. We've been punching above our weight for some time. I'm not going to put any range in, because I'm probably going to try 98 meters. I will muck around with Shockwave, and that's just because we've got it locked anyway. So who cares? Who cares, boys? Now, as far as the cannon goes, I don't think there's anything to do with speed or mass enforcement. One sec. You fucking dog. I don't think there's anything to do with mass enforcement. There's just the fast ultimate. So what I might do is I might use a death penalty to just try to trim down some of those fasts. Yeah, I might equip this. Oh, nope. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Yeah, I might just put death penalty on. I'm thinking just to trim some of the fast, even though there's like a super low chance. Oh, 5% isn't a low chance. 5%'s all goods. Maybe it might help us if, because I think it's plasma cannon too, eh? So maybe it might help with, is it plasma cannon? Oh no, plasma cannon. So I'm not really expecting bosses to become an issue. But it may help if they do become an issue. And we're still not quite at the level with enough CC that we can comfortably run OA. But it is something that I do regularly test for funsies. Funsies, boys. Or for the funsies. And the infamous project funding still eludes us. What do I need to do here? Max that. Boom. We almost run the same setup every tourney, like, since we were a little girl. It's pretty much the same. The only slight difference is being able to put something on for a cannon, but for the most part, it's probably just going to be the same stuff anyway. But it'll be something between death penalty and AD. I still need to re-roll all of this. When they gas, that's when you shove the vape in, and that's when you can feel to be chilled. Yo, Richard, what's good? Big Q in the bank. Yeah, we're actually... I'm not touching anything because I'm just keeping everything in the bank for labs. Labs have been sucking us dry, boys. They've been absolutely robbing us. I'm working on 35% core submods, up to 25 for Mixer, Labs and Stones. Damn. When I grow up, that's definitely where I want to be. Lure me up and call me Johnny, Mr. Flipster. Bro, absolutely digging all the shorts that you put out. Bro, they're so trick. For the extra Deathwave quad, 35%. 35%. Because the substat is what, +3? +3, yeah. So you'll need at least, what, 34% at least. How many 5-stars do you have? Actually, not many. One there. I'm super stoked with this one here. Where is it? Super stoked with this. BHD 5-star. So a couple other randoms. G-Comp. Death Penalty, I think, was my first 5-star. ACP. I think Space Displacer. Where is it? Oh god, the dogs are staunching each other out. I think what's happening is Macho Man keeps trying to hump the pity. And I don't think the pity wants a bar of it, eh? Because we just gave him a Flattersacker like a week ago or something. So they're both there at Flattersackers. And she's like 12 million years old, and he's like 1, and he's still trying to He's still trying to give it to her, eh? And that's not why we fixed them. We just fixed them because you can get health problems if you don't. And we do like the young fella. We do want him to hang around. Let's see what this looks like. Whoa, that shockwave is way too big. That's alright though, boys. Cloud, would you mind testing between OC and Harmony Conductor? Ohm chip in a Harmony Conductor? Oh, that's what I need to do. Spot, Poison Swap. For sure. I think I've actually rolled onto it too. But it's definitely what I want to move to. That's why I'm doing all the Poison Swamp labs. Never mind, you don't have Poison Swamp. I've only got the standard Poison Swamp. Alright, I think this is alright. Quite a bit of the time I like always muck something up, but I feel like it's pretty set. What's the time? It's about 1:30. So I'm gonna jump in the 20 now. Did you leave shards in Singularity on purpose? I guess. Yeah, and because these are capped out anyway. I just want these to be, like, I'm not gonna lie, I want these to be ancestral, and like, you know, we all want them to be ancestral, we all want the bonuses and that. I want it so I don't have to bother mucking around with shards and like restoring and doing this, whatever. I just want to transfer. I just want to swap mobs and transfer and all that other carry on. I do have some change, and then, but I'm not respecking. Like, I only respec if I'm super desperate. I've only done it like once this year, I think. I've only done it once because I've just given up on doing it. And there could be gains left on the floor and all that, but boys, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. So let's jump in now. And if you guys can remember, remind me to check my level skips. Actually, come to think about it, I don't think I've done anything. So I'm going to turn off the black hole. Since we have the lowest chance in the world to hit a Death Defy, I'm thinking I might try to drop the wall to hit Berserk. And hopefully having Death Ray on will help with some of the range. But what I've found lately is not having Death Ray on and then saving it for a bit later. And that seems to just work a bit better for me. Like, there does, like, typically it does get to a stage where trimming is a struggle for me. So having Death Ray on just to help. But we'll see how the first run goes. We'll see how the first run goes. Boys, we're in. Do you have the 4th beam when you bought Spotlight Plus? I did. And I think it's... I think, I'm trying to think when we got to that stage. Like, keeping in mind that the boys showed us some love. Actually AFK donated us up, and then the boys all picked the Spotlight Plus, and that's the route that we went with 4th Spotlight first, and then I think eventually we went after it. I think it's kind of recommended to go down that path. It's been a little while. I'm trying to remember when I got it. When we got the 22-inch arms, boys. That's when we got... That's how you get 22-inch arms, boys. So, Mr. Flipster, if you want 22-inch arms, bro, you got to get the Spotlight Plus. You got to get that Spotlight Plus, boys. But I think it's been super helpful. I genuinely think it's been super helpful. My damage per meter is at 4.8. So when I first got Spotlight Plus, it was like 2.2, and then or something like that, and then we're just like been like slowly creeping it up. I don't think I've got the lab in at the moment, just because I think there's some more cost-effective or more faster effective damage labs that I can be doing. Crouch Co, what's up? I have a question regarding Shatter Shards. Is it really worth to gem rush the last 2 levels? It should be like 12,000 gems or so, and I calculated I can earn those gems quicker than waiting for the labs to be done. A lot of people do gem rush the last ones, or at least the last level, and I think that's been a bit of a thing for a while. Where I sit in the game is I view all gems as shards. So like I have like a mental block when it comes to spending gems on anything else except for shards, because modules and levels and everything's such an important part of the game. But there's probably an argument to be had, and then also there's probably a few other things that you could probably factor in at the moment, like gem rush efficiency. Like if there's if you could get it to a good enough level relative to the portion of the game where you're at. If you're at that stage where you're on the last couple levels of Shatter Shards, I'm assuming you're like mid or high champs, so you've probably been playing for a while. That's when a lot of people are at that Shatter Shard kind of level. But I think like quite a lot of people did it. It also depends if you're spending money too. Like if you're spending money and you're buying all the packs and that, you're getting a bit of an injection of gems. You know, it's not game breaking, or it's not like whoa, it's so loaded up with gems, but it is still a little bit of something, and then that goes towards it as well. Probably the guys in the chat will probably be able to better recommend, because I didn't actually do it. I just face tanked it. I face tanked it like this, boys. Ugh. Let's give it the. Ugh. Just took it straight to the face. Now you guys are cracking up. I took it like that to the face. I took it like that to the face. Oh, boys. Boys. I got range mastery already. How many inches does that count? If you already got the range mastery, bro, you're already at 19-inch arms. Like you're ready to take Arnie's throne from him. I'm thinking about getting Spotlight Plus before the 4th beam, because I just delay it 3 tourneys. With assist mods in that, and with Ohm chip, like Spotlight Plus can put in a lot of work. With the 3 with the 3 beams, I think probably something that plays like a pretty big factor would come down to how much angle you got. Like at 60%, as you know, it's a 50% coverage. So you'd have a 50% chance that everything on the screen is in your Spotlight Plus. So you know, it's a 50-50 that you're going to be shredding. I may have to put range somewhere. We'll see. We'll see where we get to. Ryan says, I gem rushed that because I wanted the module shards. That's the other thing. I suppose every day that you don't have those labs, you're missing out on the shards as well. So it's kind of like, it's right into that, it's right in that same window in there. And then probably another thing, now that I'm thinking about it, is factoring in rare package chance mastery. So if you got rare package chance mastery as well, getting those labs maxed as soon as possible is definitely a thing. Like 12,000 gems is a month? Is that a month worth of saving? So I suppose, like, even if it's clocking over, even if those labs are clocking over and you're chewing out the days in that research, there'll be a point where you'll get the right amount of gems and then you could probably just execute. But you definitely get more value you definitely get more value with the higher of the gem efficiency. I rarely gem rush labs. Yeah, I'm mid-chance, but struggling there. Better conditions. Oh, because of module levels. 40Q LTC. Mr. Johansson, I'm in your bracket. Well, welcome to the bracket, big guy. There's a lot of mods you can buy with it. How many mods is that? 10 for 200? I read on Reddit, you would end up with more shards spending the gems on mods instead of rushing, but that was also before lab efficiency. I got rare package chance mastery, but it's like level 4. Still not good econ for maxing out masteries, and the last 2 levels of Shatter Shard labs is like 2 months. Whoa. I do remember it was a bit of a grind. I like just mentally turned my brain off. So I mean, it's probably one of those ones where there's arguments for both. Like for both versions, whether it's gem rushing or whether it's not. But yeah, again, it depends if you buy packs. Like, people that buy packs are in a completely different ballpark. Because, like, let's say they buy the 7 packs or something, like, how much are they up on you in gems? 4,000 gems in a boom? Or however many, I'm not sure. A couple thousand gems, so like a week's worth of gem. I moved the... Excel Daily says, I moved the Shatter Shards to the bottom so I don't have to see its ugly face. Bro, I did the exact same thing. Straight up. I moved it to like the bottom and then just ignored that entire slot. Not buying gem packs. In my humble opinion, it's not effective. But you get gems and stone packs too, eh? I kind of just face tanked it and just did it. Like, I don't know whether it was the most optimum way or not, and I know like a lot of people have looked into it and calculated it out. Like, a lot of people. And I think the general consensus was people were mapping out to gem rush it. Oh, overcharge off the rip, eh? Watch this, we'll probably get something stupid like a Sab. Alright, so first one's overcharge. Stone packs are bread and butter. That they are, my friends. And that they are. Because the more packs that you jokers buy, the better birthday present I get next month from my Uncle Fuds. Commander. See how much damage we're putting out. 6S. Oh, one thing I like to do. Actually, we leave it running. It shouldn't glitch out. One thing I like to do is I like putting in Spotlight. The reason why I like putting in Spotlight, boys, is I like seeing where the fleets fall relative to my Spotlight. Because we don't have the highest coverage in the world. Richard says he did the same thing with core substat efficiency. 50 days. Whoa. Imagine making that much econ. You can just straight lock it in a slot and let it do its thing. I'm gluten intolerant. I'd rather spend money buying EFTs. ETFs. Alright, we're going to have to hit up Google for this one. What is an ETF? Is this where I show my boominess, boys? What is a ETF? Oh, it's stocks. What do you use? I downloaded a couple apps. Or do you do it like proper as? Like I've seen some videos where people do it proper as. And then when I put it over here for the high and the low, and then what we've done with the compounding, it's like holy. S&P 500. I wonder how we kept that SAB back. So does landmine stun work on SABs? Or was that in a landmine? I'm using XTB and Interactive Brokers, but I live in Europe, so maybe you have something different. I think around here, like Australasia and that, I think like there's like 2 apps that are quite popular. Like a few of the boys do it at work, like they just sit there all day listening to talkback, and then like the constant updates from like different things. Like New Zealand's like big in the agri sector, and I think every day at a certain time there's like a window where they go over like all the biggest horticulture and agriculture things, all the big investments and all that sort of stuff. And if you like tune into all of that, you can see which are the ones on the stock market to buy into. And then like a couple of them will trade like on the American stock exchange and that. But like most of it's just like brand stuff. You know, stuff that's like it's comfortable to put money in. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, and you know the nature of it is like those stocks are probably going to go up. You know, like Apple's not going anywhere. You know, heaps of these other ones, they're not really going anywhere, not anywhere soon. Fujin, what's good? What's good, bro? XL Data says, have a coffee with your boy DD. He's Warren Buffett. Does he talk about it all the time? Isn't that too risky? What's that, the bigger brands? I don't know. I don't play around with it. I was thinking about it though, like, you know, chucking in a 20, having a little bit of a play. The only problem with is the job I'm doing at the moment, I can't lock in, like not to that. Like I am on this earth to delete the ovine species. I'm here to destroy it. I'm here to feed the machine so we can feed Europe and China. I'm like locked into that while I'm at work. Whereas when I was on the chain, I was like always listening to like talkback podcasts all sorts of stuff. Like, I don't really listen to music. I just sat there just listening to yarns all day. Okay, here's Overcharge. He's giving us grief. He actually sat in the spotlight the whole time, but now there's nothing to kill him, so there's nothing to bounce off him there. That was interesting. Maybe the death ray isn't the go. Like, as much as it's helping with the trimming in that, maybe we save it for the later stage. I think that's probably the go. We hit a Death Defy on it though. It's a shame I think we hit a Death Defy on it and then we just deleted everything on the screen and then there was just nothing to be bouncing off. And I'm even wondering if having death penalty on. We'll see once we get to, like, let's say another 1,000 waves. We'll see what's causing the problem. If we last another 1,000, boys. Back to the game, I have another question, but regarding Chronofield Labs. How important is CF range? If I was to go Perma Chronofield, I'm halfway to swap to EHP to hybrid. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think at one point of the game, CF range people generally kept it. Let's see if he takes Demon. Come on. We hit another Death Defy. Bro. So I think at one stage of the game, a lot of people recommended against maxing out the range, and there's various reasons for that. And then I'd also take into consideration that people, when they give specific advice, sometimes they're giving that advice to you in a way that they know where you're about, which sticking point you're about to hit into the game, so they'll advise specific things according to that. So they'll be like, I wouldn't do XYZ because yeah, that fits you in tier 14 or tier 15 where you're farming, but once you get to tier 18 it's going to be a disadvantage to you, and you're going to spend quite a bit of time in tier 18 before you move to tier 19. And some other people, oh, was it Overcharge that chipped me? You dog. Damn. We were humming there too. And then quite a few other people will advise things, and then they will only talk from their perspective. Like, oh yeah, you could do that, but it's not going to matter anyway because once you're farming, tier 25, that's going to be, you're not even going to need it. And it's like, dude, I'm in tier 11. Why the hell am I talking? Why am I worrying about something that's going to be in 2 years? But I think now, and especially after Masteries came out, and then you got free up Mastery and you can lock the range, and almost everyone to a certain point will move to a 40 or a 30 meter range or a 60 meter range. It's fine to just max out the range lab. It's not super important. It's super helpful in tourney. It's not really all that helpful in farm. It's a little bit helpful, but then because you can just lock range and stuff anyway, and a goal should be to move to BHD, which will lock the range, and you're farming in a smaller range, it doesn't really negatively affect you. And there's other things that you can do to manage the negative side effects later on. So that was the longest-winded explanation of it's fine to max it. Don't make it super priority if you've got other more important things, but you're comfortable to max it. But I know it was like, and there was a stage in the game, especially prior to Masteries, where people were like, don't max it, only put this amount of levels in, but all of that day and age, that's for Boomer Towers. That's for the Boomer Towers. McChicken Joe, what's good? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You mentioned Shockwave. Notice I forgot my Shockwave lab. Like to be honest, I'm struggling with tier 12, wave 10,000. But on tier 13, it's like hell. I can't farm tier 13 still. You'll probably, if you're farming 10,000 waves in tier 12, you've done a really good job. You've done a really good job. You're potentially at a point where you could probably skip tier 13. Like, I never lasted that long in tier 12. I don't even farm tier 12. I tried to. It was just such an ugly tier for me to farm. So I just like swapped to glass cannon. I just did like all the groundwork, got my tower ready and swapped to glass cannon. But to be honest, if you're doing 10,000 waves in tier 12, you could probably go to tier 14. The big thing you want to do in tier 14, and this is like my recommendation to go into those tiers, is see if you can farm. Like, put all your farm gear on, leave it, don't worry about how much coins you make or don't make. And all you got to do is just last to, say, 4,200 waves, 4,400, 4,500, somewhere around there. That's a really nice number. And if you can survive that long, instantly get intro sprint mastery and all of that and start running that. And if you've already got it, again, try to do it. Try to see how long you can survive. At the earliest, you could probably do very high 3,000s. But see where you fit in it. And the only problem with it is unfortunately, you move away from being comfortable with doing 2 12-hour runs or 3 8-hour runs, and you have to start getting used to doing 2 to 3 to 4-hour runs, and it's an absolute pain. And yeah, it's an absolute pain to grind through. And then you just figure out what's your overnight run. Like, I think I was doing overnight tier 13, and then during the day just farming tier 14s. But yeah, you could probably skip it. No, what's that? So I'm going to take Death Ray off this next run. Thanks for the advice. I'm going to work on range for sure. No worries, bro. I hope it helped. I hope it helped, or at least there's some food for thought. Because there's no real, with most things with the tower, there's no real like yes or no answers or this and that. For some stuff there is, but for the most part it's all tower dependent. But I highly recommend that if you're farming that much in tier 12, try tier 14. Try to at least see if you can survive it. If you can't survive it, figure out what the problem is that's causing you not to survive it. Like, don't just jump into the tier and then be like, oh, it didn't work for me because I got less. It's like, figure out why was it less? Like, what was the reason that was a pain for you? Ryan says, just need more enemy level skips. Once your enemy level skips goes up higher, tiers become much easier. Enemy stats scale up very quickly. Yeah, and with tier 14 and above, it's your introduction to battle conditions, and it's your first taste of what things are like fighting with battle conditions. And there's a few things that you have to contest with. Tier 14's like not too bad. Like, fleets can throw you a bit of a RNG. Eventually fleets just become kind of irrelevant. Like, fleets probably become irrelevant, like, I don't know, tier 19, tier 20, they're probably like more of a problem. But once you just get yourself to a good spot, you got enough damage, or depending on how you play, you got enough survivability, whatever your flavor is. Yeah, they're kind of just negligible. They're more of an annoyance, like, rather than like a hurdle that you have to cross. Like, I remember every time I was moving up in a tier, they were just annoying as I like adjusting to the new scaling. But like, nothing really that's like super a problem. Like, stuff that was a problem was like Protector's Ultimate. Absolute problem. Especially when you don't have Perma Black Hole. Tanks Ultimate. I don't know how I would have dealt with Tanks Ultimate without running OA. Like, OA has been such a band-aid bridging the gap for my build ever since I started equipping it. 4-hour runs, it'll ruin my life. It's a slog, bro, straight up. So, like, a large portion of the player base, when they got to that part where they were doing 4-hour runs, they got auto restart first. It's just where the game was. Now that's not a thing. So you know, like, it's not a thing for anybody anymore. So you'd have to grind your way up, doing it. Like, I used to get so mad when something was happening at work, and I got to the stage where I'd like mastered my runs and I'd like timed everything. So it's like at 6 o'clock start this run, so cancel the overnight, start this run. At 10 o'clock, cancel it, start the next run, you know, like that sort of buzz. And then it would be like, okay, now I need to merge it into, say, 4.5 hour runs. Is that right? 4.5, 4.5's 9, 18. Yeah, so 4.5 hour runs, then start it over. It's a punishing part in the game, but it's like a necessary evil for your tower to go through things. I think that's why, like honestly, I think that's what causes a lot of mental blocks in the game. And I think that's what discourages a lot of people to play a certain way, or the way that they progress up tiers, because your mentality's shifting from these like comfortable long runs to moving into these short runs. And it can become a mental block for a lot of people. And it's the same thing like the mental block, like around the tier 11, tier 12. It's a very good spot to switch to damage or glass cannon. But a lot of people don't, because it's a mental block to extract as much value from that window in the game, those middle tiers, that tier 11, tier 12. Squeeze as much juice out of that lemon as much as you can, and then use that window to convert over to damage, and then progress throughout the tiers. And it's still dissonance, everything, it still remains around that window, and you're just getting your tower to be optimized so that you can swap into those higher tiers. And then people get like a mental block, because every point up to there, it's been just live longer. All I have to do, like the formula is to get from tier 9 to tier 10 is if I live for 14 hours instead of 12, I will naturally move to tier 10, and it'll be a 12-hour run or a 10-hour run. And then I just need to squeeze it up to 12. And then once I squeeze that up to 14, I go up to tier 11, and that thing doesn't work. Like, there's a weird part in the game that I think the devs have attempted to do by making adjustments to how the tier scalings and everything, so they can polish out and smooth it. So what it does do is that it creates this mentality where people go, I just need to survive longer because I need to do 12-hour runs. I need to do 14-hour runs. And then a lot of players clutch to things that help them survive longer that are cheap. I.e. Prim C, Perma Black Hole, you know, all these things that are just extremely suboptimal. Stone for stone, they're the lowest ROI path in the game, because it's a mental block. It's like everything the game naturally taught you up to this point is gonna steer you in the wrong direction in that. And it sucks. It's a weird way that the game is designed. I just trusted everybody that trod the path before me. I'm glad I did. Otherwise I'd probably still be up shit's creek, because I almost went that other direction, and I almost like invested down that path. But then I just looked at everyone else, and this is what, you know, if the road goes like this, or here's the destination, it's like we're gonna cut straight up the middle. We're going to convert to damage, because the stone for stone, it's the cheapest path in the game. I need to put some coins into enhancements level, and now I'm trying to save coins for masteries. It's hard, extremely hard balance, but I highly recommend you focus on the best ROI at that stage where you're at is definitely masteries, and I'd highly recommend just don't put stuff into enhancements. Just focus on your masteries, because your best bang for buck's gonna definitely be those. Many thanks. Wow, all goods, bro. Thanks for asking questions. Get my mind ticking. On the farms, I have Perma Black Hole, but on Tawnies, Perma Black Hole on Tawnies extremely hard. I'm far away from Legends and far away from getting keys. You may be closer than you think from getting to Legends. It just kind of depends on which path you choose to go down. It really just depends what path you choose to go down. Like, it's the saying that I always say to everybody. We've been saying it for a while. Play the tower how you want to play, but don't complain if your tower is shit. If you go off the meta path, if you don't follow meta, you can't complain if your tower is shit. And I think that's where a lot of people get it confused. But hey, the game is marketed as, here's the tower, all of these different toys that you can unlock. Build the tower and play it how you want to play. That's true, play the tower how you want to play, but don't complain if your tower ends up shit. And the safest way to ensure that your tower doesn't end up shit is play meta. And if you're a low spender or a no spender, 10,000% play meta. Otherwise, you're going to screw yourself over. Because a lot of people see off meta builds and then they go, oh, that's cool, I want to be that guy. It's like, bro, he's got 300,000 stones. I would be surprised if his tower didn't work. It has to work at 200,000 stones. Any build is viable at 200,000 stones. The tower is a metaphor for life. What a deep game. The tower of life. The tower giveth and the tower taketh away. Guys, as always, let's check out our bracket. If you see somebody you know, give him a shout out. What's this guy? Hulk. Whoa! Hulk Hogan's in the house. Holy moly. Alright, now we gotta see how many campers are here. There's Taylor. Taylor's still running. Alright, hold a breath. How many campers? One camper. But we've probably still got people running. Exactly, the whole point was to make 12-hour runs and then move as quick as possible to another tier to make those 12-hour runs. Exactly, bro. And then what it does is it just creates that psyche after months and months of playing that players still seek out that. I'm not like here to have a bitch and moan about it. I'm just like, it's just, you can see why players stick to that sort of thing. Because it's been ingrained in them months and months and months. No auto restart, nothing like that. So they just been tapping it and setting alarms and everything for month after month. And even if you wail out and you buy every pack, you are not immune to that struggle. So you are doing the exact same struggle. And it's a day after week after month, the same sort of thing. And it ingrains into you that this is how the game is to be conquered. But then you hit this wall around these tiers. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then if you don't switch off or like switch out and go to the new style of how you're to be playing, it just means that you may have to clutch to certain tools that you may feel that you need, but in the long run, it's gonna just be suboptimal. But it depends how min-maxy you want to be. You know, do you want to be a sweat lord and super min-max? Do Do you want to be like an effective path, you know, Bible kind of person? Or do you just want to play the game and enjoy it? I think the big thing with it is, like, because the biggest currency in the game is time, we also, none of us want to waste time. Like, the time is against us. Because every week, the whole group or the whole player base as a whole is progressing because time's still going on. I dropped something. Hold on, let's have a look. What did we drop? A soulstone. Ooh. Need one of those. Let's see if we get something good. Peach Monarch, what's good? What's good? What's good, fam? I maybe sound like I'm complaining, but I'm just searching for knowledge. I think, you know, anytime that conversations are had about these sorts of topics and that, it's good. It's healthy for the game. It's just healthy discourse. Zephyr, what's good? Look, I can see you. Ha! You can see me. I can see you. You think this is a one-way cam, but it's really not. It's a two-way cam. Yeah, streaming, I woke up and I'm about to go to sleep for once. Bro, you gotta hit the Z's, man. I tell you what, bro, I'm so bad at sleeping at, like, I just feel like I'm missing out. And it's just gonna be the same slog when I get back to work. It's one of those ones where I'm dreading going to work tomorrow because there's just so much stuff happened today. I'm in the transition from EHP to Glass Cannon. What is the most important? What should I really focus on? I know CF is a must. CF is definitely important, but a lot of stuff is relative. Like, it's super important, but I wouldn't really listen to everybody that says, like, oh, you need a max CF and all this sort of stuff. If you can do it, cool. If you're buying all the packs, do it. You know, it's all relative to the situation there and where you are and your stone income and that sort of thing. Like, if you're buying all the packs, you can purchase your way past all the hurdles and that. But you can comfortably go Glass Cannon at 50% slow. You can even be more comfortable going Perma Black Hole and go Glass Cannon. That's even a hell of a lot easier. And you'll be super comfortable going Glass Cannon if you have GT Plus. Because the biggest thing that you learn when you go Glass Cannon is overkilling. And it's a real big thing. So, like, the common path that I always advocate for if people go Glass Cannon is do Orbliss first. Because if you do Orbliss, you will do everything that you can to make damage equal economy. So then when you transition, so all you have to do when you swap to Glass Cannon is just drop your HP stuff. Change a few cards around. And then your Glass Cannon. But your tower's been built in a way that the more damage you have, the more economy you have. Because that's the nature of Orbliss. It's before you add orbs into your build, to survive the last portion, to get more cells and more coins, whatever, to last the 12 hours that you want to farm, everything up to that point is just raw bullet damage. And then that directly transfers over to econ. The higher your damage and the longer you can stay Orbliss, the more econ. And then you learn how to balance your damage. And you learn how to, like Glass Cannon, the kind of idea of it is that you're killing in a specific window, or you're killing in a certain way. You're not just trying to kill everything on screen. If that kind of makes sense. Because if you kill everything on screen, you're not going to make any coins. And you learn that really, really well when you play Orbliss, because not only are you killing in a specific way, you're only killing in Spotlight. And you're doing everything you can to not kill outside of Spotlight, and also not kill out of the activations. And I don't know what sort of Orbliss guides there are now, and there's more viable ways probably now to progress through that portion of the game where you don't have to play Orbliss like a lot of us had to, because the game's a bit of a different game now. But if you want to swap to Glass Cannon, I feel like Orbliss is probably one of the best ways to do it. So if you do 2 12-hour runs in tier 11, if you max your dissonance, you should be getting 5 to 6 Q a day before swapping to Glass Cannon. Easy. Like everybody that I know that optimized their Orbliss build. So you might see people surviving longer farming tier 13 or farming tier 14 or whatever, but they're getting less coins, and you're farming tiers below. Now there's a lot of things to factor in there, but it was kind of around the mark where before Dissonance that one little Q a run, 2 runs a day in tier 11, and you've got a pretty damn optimized Orbliss build. And then that's without GT Plus. So that's without even taking that plunge yet. But you could probably skip it. Again, it comes down to it basically comes down to stone picks. Like you can skip that whole thing, and then you can go like balls to the walls with Ultimate Weapon Plus. Because if you go like Ultimate Weapon Plus, the overkilling isn't really a thing. But it's a good learning curve to go Orbliss first. I'd say out of every strategy out there, I don't know any strategy that's harder than Orbliss. I don't know any. There may be some out there, some super secret strategies, but honestly, Orbliss is probably one of the hardest strats you can do. Like you're not auto picking perks, you're manually picking them all. You're manually swapping out cards between like 3 or 4 presets multiple times a run. It's like one of the most active playstyles, and it's all based on time. Like I used to know all the times like the back of my hand. So it'd be at 9:30 swap to this card preset. At this time pick up these perks. And it got to the point, like, by the end of it, like, I absolutely hated Orbliss. I was like, I don't give a shit. I'm swapping to Glass Cannon, and I'm getting rid of this. I'm not doing this anymore. It's for my sanity. But because I wasn't buying my way through all of those steps, I just grinded my way through all of it. How many fingers am I holding up, and what part of my body do I hold to the camera? Mr. Flipster, you are holding my favorite part of your body to the camera. There might be a CF nerf soon. Inside knowledge. Oh no. CF nerf soon. People making 1000 waves in Legends without stones in CF. Absolutely a thing. Absolutely a thing. I've had quite a few people share some guides with me like that I've read. Probably one thing with that would be people can build in super unique ways. And if they build their tower in a super unique way, I would try to factor in everything before I follow a similar path. And the only reason why I say that is because for when I first started the game, probably a couple months into it, how did I lose 2 energy shields? When I first started the game, a couple months into it, I followed a guide, like line for line, that was recommended, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, great guide. I followed it, and it was just a complete waste of time. Because I didn't factor in the biggest thing. And the biggest factor in it was buying stone packs, and it absolutely set me back way longer than it should have, because like if you're buying packs, you skip certain windows, like say for example it could be like pump up the damage and do this and just max out Chronofield, and it's all well and good, but for that person that holds off their economy for like 6 weeks or whatever it is, their econ is only held off for a certain amount of time. For my account, holds off my econ for 8 months or whatever, you know what I mean? So yeah, depending on the situation, and try to take everything into consideration. And for the most part, a lot of the guides are pretty well written, but there's just, yeah, there's a lot of things that have to be factored in, especially if people are doing something that, like, let's say that the mass or the wider group, like they've found the shortcut in how to do something. There might be some hidden stuff in there. What's overkilling? Overkilling is the worst part of Glass Cannon, because Glass Cannon is based on killing within specific windows, specific time frames, and overkilling is you're basically killing outside of those windows, and those windows are generally based around ultimate weapon activations or your gold bot uptime, you know, all these multipliers for econ is based around that stuff. Alright, I'm going to try the next one. I'm going to try AD. But they still must have very good damage masteries. I think ACP plus Space Displacer might be better for this instead of OA and ACP. I hardly ever run OA, but every now and then I give it a bit of a nudge. They use Inner Landmine for control. There's a good guide and official Discord about it. I did the same thing, so I swapped to Glass Cannon with Inner Landmines, and if it wasn't for Space Displacer, it would have made that transition harder, because I was missing thousands of stones in Chronofield and I didn't have CF Plus and all the other stuff. Space Displacer, Crowds. Space Displacer, Magnetic Hook is more of a meh. It's more of a probably a tool that people use when they got Inner Landmine Plus. I've been playing around with OA and NMP lately. I think OA is such a good mod. Another overcharge. Look at that, we just can't find anything to bounce onto him. Delete everything. Alright, I'm gonna try AD next. I still think it's the go not having Death Ray on. I think. And I think we've just been a bit unlucky. I'm just going to pump this up. Just let it go full send. So how is the Inner Landmine strategy works to get higher in tournaments? Isn't the whole strategy based on Inner Landmine stuns? I think... So, certain battle conditions, you want like a little bit more CC. Right, let's turn this on. Let's turn this on for you, big guy. Where is it? Here. And all we got to do is look at the red explosions. So people with a really high CF, like thousands and thousands of stones in CF, they won't need to rely on stuns as much as someone like myself. So like the goal for me is to eventually get enough crowd control that I don't have to worry about using space to space and I can use some other tool. But that's a very long time away from me. But yeah, it all comes down to battle conditions. Like, it gets to the point where all these fasts are coming in so fast. They're coming in, they're getting someone on the backpack, and then they're like throwing them at your tower. That's like the whole thing with fast. They're just going to get stuff and they're just going to keep throwing it at your tower. So the longer that you can keep them at bay, generally the longer you're going to be able to survive. But then there's other tournament conditions that it's not really going to be too much of a problem. But things like mass enforcement, enemy speed, like if you get enemy speed, mass enforcement and fast ultimate, you are in for a rough ride, boys. A rough ride, to say it is an understatement. Death Ray is good for these battle conditions because the surplus of ultimate enemies are available. The surplus, I suppose it'll help with trimming away stuff. I can't remember what I wanted to change for the next run. What did I say I wanted to change? Oh, I changed my cannon. That's right. But I tell you what, in order to blur this behind us, it was an absolute mission. I recorded my Sunday update like 2 times. And like I was so cooked by the end of it, and then at the end of it I checked it and the audio still didn't work, and it was coming from here, the webcam, and it wasn't coming from here. And I like gave up. I was like, bro, I was like so defeated. I was like, oh, I was so tired. Had a big leg day with my son. My son got a PB, boys. My son got a PB. He got so his previous PB was a 70 kilo squat for 1. And then he got an 80 kilo squat for 2, like a week or 2 ago. And then on Sunday just gone, he got 80 kilos for 5. He's 16. And he's about 62 to 65 kilos. We haven't weighed him for a while. And I don't know where the scales are that were at my house. They're gone somewhere. They're going walkabouts. So he's definitely punching above his weight. And I was absolutely roasted after that sesh, because like we get the barbell, we take it out from the shed, we take it outside. Like I try to spice things up. I think I've mentioned it before. And I try to throw in some stuff that's a little bit more fun. You know, it might be like pick this up, like some stuff we do, it might be upper body day, and we might be like focus like more on some back exercise or some shoulders and stuff, and it might be like just pick up the rims and tires and then just hit it. You know, there's something primal about that, boys. There's something primitive about picking something up and throwing it or slamming it or hitting it against something. And it's a way to break up, I suppose, like the linear pathways that like these movements bring. Like when you're looking at like moving weight in a specific way or a specific direction, you can get bound up like that. And like coming from like where I come from, like I've been working in factories for almost 20 years. So like you get bound in a certain direction. Like if all the work at my work is like, say like this, and it's cutting and carving and, you know, just slicing and ripping, like, and you're just working at this pace constantly. You know, we're here to exterminate ovine from the planet. There are more sheep than there are people in this country, and we were put on this earth to balance it out. So like when you're like working like that, you get bound like in a certain way, like your body's min-maxed in a certain way, boys. So throwing in like other stuff to spice it up, it always brings a bit of fun. So like one of them, it's like we get the barbells, take it out the back, and then on my back porch, my back balcony, like with the steps, you just start climbing up it, boom, boom, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and you just keep going and keep going, and like my legs were absolutely toast. And then I did the video because went over to the city, picked up the webcam, then I got back, and then I put the webcam up, everything's all good, and then I was like, alright, we need to suss out like how to blur, like there's got to be a way how to blur the background, because I just wanted to get it and I didn't have a backdrop or anything like that. Let's see how much this has moved. Okay, we need a little bit more space. We need a little bit more space, boys. What did I say? Swap out to AD. And then so I recorded the first one, push play, like I tested it and I thought that I heard something, and then I pushed play and I was like, no way, a 45-minute video. And it's the excitement of the first recording with the webcam and a 45-minute video, and there's no audio. So then I tried it again and there's no audio, and then I finally got the audio to work. And then what it was trying to do is the computer was trying to be so smart, it started to try to use my phone. So it's trying to use the camera on my phone, and it's trying to use the mic on my phone, and I was like, what is going on? And then I recorded the last attempt. I was super cooked, and that was the video that I posted on Sunday. And then I listened back and I was like, why does this sound weird? And I was like, oh no, it didn't even use the audio from the mic. The audio sounds rubbish. And then my wife was like, don't worry about it, babe. Like, she could tell I was super like gutted. She's like, don't worry, just don't put it up. Get fresh tomorrow, put up a video. And I was like, nah, it's all good. I'll just put it up anyway. Who cares? Who cares? But what I was excited about, boys, is I was excited to do the stream tonight, because this is the first time that I feel like everything's going. Because when I go like this, I can see the feedback through OBS, which is good. And sorry if that just was annoying to your eardrums, but when I tap here, it's not giving any feedback. So we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. Quick catch up on chat. Really you want to limit what Fast Ultimate can hook into. Expiry. What's good? Good luck, man. Cheers, bro. The audio sounded fine to me. I couldn't even tell. Well, thank you. Because I watched it so many times, like skipped to various parts of the video, and I was like, no. Because there's one thing when I first started doing videos like on Facebook and all that sort of stuff years ago. We're talking like 2000, and like me and my wife. Like, I tell you who's a good combination. It's me and my wife. We used to do some kick-ass streams. Like, we're doing all sorts of challenges and all sorts of stuff. And I always got told right off the bat, like, it doesn't matter what the visuals, what anything's like, all of that quality, as long as the audio's good, people can sit there and listen. If the audio's terrible, if the picture's not so good, people can still listen in. And then maybe they don't have to stare at it. But if the audio's bad, people can't listen to something if there's always a crackling sound in the background. Or something like that. 10 gems. Let's do this. And the other thing that I was told, as well as the audio, is always make sure your nails are nice. And when I say nails are nice, boys, I don't mean nails are nice. I mean, like, there is nothing worse. Like, let's say you go to the supermarket, the grocery store. You go to the grocery store, go to the supermarket, anything like that. You go anywhere. And if you see, if the person in front of you, or the clerk who's serving you, or the contractor who shakes your hand, or anything, and they have got bad nails, or fingernails, woof, it's something else. And there's nothing worse than you want
to be sitting here like this or pointing something out, and then your nails are gnarly. Oh, do you know what I did? I didn't do my shockwave that last run, eh? Did I do my shockwave that last run? I don't think I did my shockwave that last run. Ha, it'll be funny if I didn't. Let's go, Mashitoni Nova. What's good, bro? What's good? What's good, my man? My man, my man. It's crack up. I jumped into Krintos' stream Sunday or Monday, I think, when the event changed over or something like that, and he was doing a stream. And I was saying, oh yeah, checked out your gender reveal, whatever. I said to the boys, yeah, bro, hit up the super chats. We'll do 10-cent burpees, and they were like 1,000% gonna jump in and do it until you throw up. And then I was like, oh shit, okay, oh well, here we go. Maybe we don't do 10-cent burpees. Mr. Flipster, gotta go. Take care. Thanks for stopping in, bro. You're a legend. And keep up the shorts, bro. I'm super digging them at the moment. They're so interesting, especially all the ones around the patches and everything. Bro, it's awesome. The ultimate weapon history. That's another good one. That's another good one. Audio is really important. Yeah, 100%. Stuff like crackling or making noises or any of that, people definitely don't want to be listening to. I'm watching all clouded or non-clouded. Well, apparently, so here we go. So apparently we figured out that when we vape, we're supposed to vape like this. Hold on, I'll turn it on. Apparently we got to vape like this. Now this is a technique that Ryan used to use. So when he was a little girl and he was at school, this is how he used to pick his nose. And he thought that nobody could see him. But I tell you what, we can all see you, big guy. We all knew that one kid. And I know there's a few of you guys in chat that you were probably that kid too. Sat there like that, picking your nose. Thought you were being discreet, but we all knew what you were doing under there, guys. We all knew what you were doing under there. All right, we've actually got the shockwave on, so let's go. I'm pretty sure we had it off last time. I was wondering why I was getting chipped. I think the key is just don't kill everything so fast. Let's see why we got red dots up here. What's this? Kill enemies with inner landmines. Let's go. Oh, bro, there's shit-ass mission 2, What is it? Death Ray. Bro, I hate this mission, bro. Especially when you farm tiers where you've got Death Ray resistance, and then it's just like, I find that actually what's the easiest way for me is not to take off a card, put the Death Ray in, wait a million years for it to try to trim something. I found what's the best way is just actually turn everything off, put perma black hole on, try to hoard everything in the black holes, and then just trim it all that way with Death Ray. I found that's the easiest way for me to deal with it. And it's just, I feel like it's the most fast way. Like, I think the top mission's like 75,000 mobs, enemies, whatever. And I feel like that's the easiest way for me to do it. It's just more of a nuisance. Like, so much of a nuisance that I generally save it like right to the end. But I actually think another way that I could do it is actually by doing dissonance runs in the lower tiers and just equipping it. So like, anytime that mission comes up, just do one dissonance run, just leave it equipped and just let it do its thing. Let it trim away, let it do whatever, and then at least, because I think the ones that I have to clock off, I have to do the defense ones, and some stage I have to go around to do it. Just at the moment, I'm just really trying to get like all these labs and stuff done. So like I kind of like, I'm on a tight budget, boys. We're on a tight budget. We need to get these labs done. We need to get them over and done with. It is what it is. It is what it is. Expiry, I don't vape. Or don't vape. Alright, I've smoked more things than you can imagine, big guy. A vape is the least of my worries. A vape is not gonna hurt me. I'm probably not vaping. Nah, you're right. I'm smoking dick. Is this AI? I can't believe such a beautiful marshmallow is real. Why? Thank you, big guy. Back at ya. Milwheelan. What's good? What's good? Have you done your tawny run yet? Oh, but I tell you what I have been doing. Oh, trying to get the pull-ups up. It's the problem when you're 250 pounds. A pull-up for somebody that's 250 pounds versus somebody that's 180 is a whole different ball game, boys. I'm really sad now. You'll be alright, big guy. You'll manage. You'll manage. Hopefully we can just try to stall as long as we can before turning the game speed down. But it is a perfect opportunity to actually jump onto this other game. Because they finally updated us and we're finally getting chests. Thank God. Bro, what a slog, bro. And a game that's based on loot. It's like, imagine playing the tower and then you can't earn... What's a progression system? You can't earn modules or something. Like, you'll just be like... It'll just be like, bro, what the hell, bro? One of the biggest systems, like, modules in this game is like the equivalent of armor in a lot of other games. The only problem is now that all the chests are coming, it's like a simulation. It's like we're playing, what do you call it? It's like we're playing a inventory simulation game. Peter, what's good? Just dropped in to say hi. Why in State of O tonight? Let's go. Watch for the hit-ups. The State of O. That means that there's going to be a lot of hungover boys at work tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of boys that are going to be hungover. Many thanks for everything. I'll recalculate in my head on my way to work. Bro, I have a good day at work. Hopefully it goes fast for you, bro. Smash it out. Get it done with. Go get that money. Go get that money. Remember, the more stone packs you buy, the better present Uncle Fuds gets me next month for my birthday. And my cousin Sam. She'll throw us a lovely birthday present too. But yeah, hope your day goes fast. Go get that money, big guy. I just realized I'm missing free damage by not using Flamebot for my attack and ultimate. Yeah, I've thought about it in a way that I probably have to respec at some stage near the end of event. Spec into Flamebot. Pump out a bunch of the dissonance. Wait for the rollover. And then respec back out. That's like one of the things on my list to do. And one of the things I just can't be bothered doing. It's just like, another chore. But at least there's not so many, for me, there's not so many dissonance to do. Where it's not so chory. It's like done the big brunt of it. One thing I do need to get into a habit of is like more frequently running the utility one. for more econ and just like reassessing like the coin multiplier. You need a bit of a respec. Yeah. Alright, we killed that guy. So yeah, it must have been the shockwave. We should discuss your key spending. What do we got at the moment? Just saving up for bot respecs. Bro, that's a slog. Like, what's it in total? 80 or 90 keys? Bro. Alright, we got another overcharge coming soon. Treasure chest, Snow Mountain Mage. What's that? Treasure chest. Soulstone. Oh no, what did it take? What did the sab take? Spotlight? You dog! Not the spotlight. No! Oh no, what the... Oh no! Crippled me. Well, that was a waste of a second win. I don't know what it said that I got. It said I unlocked the chest, but no chest. 110 keys. Holy moly. Ah, yes, that one. That's a shame. Oh well, full send. Bad RNG on the sab. So Clouded, what's your plan for the tower? My plan is to polish off some more econ. Because labs are super expensive and so are enhancements. And then start going into some Poison Swamp just for some CC. And then after Poison Swamp, probably into some Ultimate Weapon Plus, like CF, Golden Tower. It'll probably be after I put stones into Poison Swamp just for the CC and the slow. After I put some into that, then I probably should go back to GT Plus, because I really need the econ. Everything's so expensive. So expensive. And it's probably just for like the long-term progression of the account. Just like trying to find a balance in there, where we're just balancing in between maintaining getting keys, and then at the same time progressing with the econ and that. I think that's probably kind of like more of a balanced approach. So when I first started playing the game, I was focused like quite a bit on econ, and there was probably some cheap stuff that I could have did that could have helped in tourneys, and then focused into tourneys for a while, kind of secured ourselves a spot, and then now it's going back to econ. And probably, to be fair, with some of the labs we can do now, we could probably just stay econ and just ride it out. It all depends on what they're going to do with the upcoming changes to tournaments. Like, I don't think they're going to give out participation awards, so I think people should just get that out of their head. Like, thinking that they deserve some sort of participation award. Like, you know, this isn't a socialist game. It's not like one of those things like people are, I don't know, people are buzzing if they think that they're just going to be given a bunch of stuff, but I think there will be something changed. And because I feel like if they announce that they're going to do something with tournaments, just making tournaments harder is, you know, is what they've done for the longest time. But it doesn't really address like the fundamental issues of the game that a lot of players have, which is a lot of stuff is locked behind, a lot of convenience is locked behind keys. Now the answer to that I don't think is like just give everyone keys or anything like that. It's like let's just switch things up and change things. Like things have to change, and it can't just be band-aids. And if they announce it that they're making some sort of change to tournaments and that, they probably should really think about the underlying sentiment within the community, and then they should probably get a home run with it. And if they don't, there's going to be a lot of mad people. And even though it doesn't directly affect me per se, the overall health of the game affects all of us. And you know, they gave it a good nudge. They gated keys behind money for the longest time. You know, kind of like, I feel like it's kind of seen in a way where they've squeezed enough juice out of it. It's probably time to start looking at something else, some other sort of thing, some other sort of system. You know, because like it's pretty much just become a thing where people just outspend people. You know, like, and it band-aids a lot of shortfalls in the way that they theory craft. Where it's like, I can't beat you, so I'll just outbuy you. And you know, that's good for the income of the game, and it helps them get more devs and, you know, can afford more things in order to progress it, but it's short-term thinking. Like, probably one of the most damaging things they done to the game, and a lot of the top guys say the same thing, is by expanding how many stone packs you can get. Because it just, like, it gave a short/medium boost to the, I don't know, the cash flow of the game. But the majority of the players aren't spenders. And there probably could have been a better way that it could have been done. You know, the cat's out the bag. It is what it is. You know, who cares? It is what it is. But just it creates that distance so much. Like, I've got friends that play the game, IRL friends, and they want the stuff that's locked behind keys, like a lot of people are. They want the ability to auto restart. Like, bro, god damn it, bro, give everybody auto restart. Like, if you're expected to play the game or have the game online on some device somewhere 24/7, then at least have auto restart for free. If not, have an idle version of the game. You can't have both. You can't have the cake and eat it too. Like, there's stuff like that, and I can see why, like, when I look at other idle games and I look at their threads and the way that people talk about it and stuff like that, I can see why people, like, thoroughly enjoy the game. Like, they'll say, oh, the Tale's great, it was an absolute fun game, but god damn, no idle mode, what the hell? An idle game that's not so idle. I melted a phone playing this game. I ran a PC for like a year straight for this game. I have to hire a cloud phone for this game. But I think, yeah, they just need to address it, and like, regardless, whatever they do, like, I'll still be playing it. But it's just for the overall health of the game that, you know, they really need to hit the mark on it. And whatever that mark is, I don't know. We could sit here for days all talking about different things that the devs and that can be doing. You know, it just kind of is what it is. You really need extra cards for keys. Extra cards for keys. Do you really need extra cards for keys? I don't know. It depends on what builds. Depends on what builds and how many cards you require, how many masteries you have. I got knocked out of intro sprint with a shield up. It's because I'm running full speed. There's definitely still a bug with fast ultimate, like teleporting through. Oh, I see what you mean. Wasn't it the range we're doing that? The range we're striking your tower past your shields? I think that was a bit of a bug. The Tawny version of Fast Ultimate. What tier are you find me now, Taylor? You don't want to live in a socialist world. No, I don't. No, I don't. Capitalists all the way. Big eat small. And that's just because that's the ecosystem I'm in. I'm in a company with thousands of employees. I'm in management, and it is just big eat small. That is all we're trying to do, is destroy our competition. For tournaments, only allow everyone to use intro sprint up to 2,500 waves from platinum upwards. Reduce demotion spots. Yeah, I have seen some people talk about that sort of stuff. They say dual runs a while back. Bro, dual runs would be sick. And here's my thing. This is what I'd really like to do. And Uncle Fuds, take this idea, roll with it. You can keep it. Just buy me a bigger birthday present. But I always feel like if they could do dual runs, like a bunch of other idle games, what they do is they do your core content, which is like what we're doing. Let's say at the moment, like tournament or farm, that's like the core content. But then you can swap out of it and go to a side content. And we have like a side tower that idles the entire guild event. And it doesn't do it does like infinity waves. Like the waves go forever. Forever, 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 forever. And then everything that you get at any stage, you can upgrade the workshop. And then it means that that tower can go further and further and further and further. And it goes for the length of the guild season. And then how your guild performs with their side tower that has an idle mode and it's idling in the background, and it's kind of like a little passive tower. Like it's not like what we're doing. We're not doing all devos and we're not doing any of these strats. We're just surviving as long as we can. And it goes for the 40 odd days or however long a guild season is, and it's just idling on another page. I feel like that would be sick. And then your group. And I feel like this thing with doing this community event, like how many bosses can you do, how many waves you can do, I feel like it's a step in that direction, that as a guild we'll be able to do these little side quests and all these cool little things that we can do as a group, aside from just get your daily missions, and all of that contributes. You know, that's cute, it was nice. It was a lovely little feature that everybody had access to, and it was the beginning of kind of something. But like the next level of it, oh no. One sec, boys. The tower ran away. The tower had enough. Is it full screen? Yep, it's full screen. Auto restart and gem stacking should be available for everyone, maybe behind milestone and labs. That's what I feel. I feel like behind milestones, and I feel like it's a milestone for a window that you're going to face. Like let's say for example, tier 14, wave 4500, boom, you unlock auto restart, something like that. Maybe even sooner. But I feel like that's like definitely something, because when you go to farm into those tiers and you're doing these shorter runs, you absolutely need it. And it means like it will create this type of gameplay loop where people will find the way to optimize that earlier stage of the game, and we'll be able to help people that come into the community through various different ways by giving them little strats to get to that point and unlock it as soon as possible. Like when you first start the game and you ask a question, should I unlock this extra lab or should I pull modules? And everybody says, go and get that extra lab slot. Do not do anything until you've got all of those labs running, because we all know. And we'll be able to help people that start the game. Hey, I'm new to this game. What do I want to do? Bro, get auto restart as soon as you can, because it will give you at least a way to idle the game. Something like that. And, you know, I'm just throwing tier 14 out there as an example, but like whatever tier it is. And I reckon that'll be super choice. I don't think them making more money directly leads to improving the game at this point. The owner's profits are probably over 50%, and they've set a budget for this game at this point. Yeah, what are they pulling in? what is it, 6 mil a month or something? I find tier 17 is better than tier 18. I don't have to micromanage. What do you do as far as micromanaging in tier 18? Tier 18 because I don't have to micromanage. What would you do in tier 18 that would mean that you micromanage that you don't have to in tier 17? Sven the Skull, hey there bro, hey what's good? Jens, my man, what's up? I don't think it's possible to get past 1700 to 1800 waves with these battle conditions without very high CF. I died at 1649 with Berserk 1 big Q damage. God damn. What did I want to do? What did I want to do? We got ripped by that Sab, eh? Put Death Ray back in? Why not? Alright, we'll give it one more nudge. One more nudge, my friends. $16.49 is pretty good, bro. $16.49 is pretty good. I'd be happy with $16.49. As EHP, my farm runs go for 9 hours. I don't need auto restart that desperate anymore. Yeah, bro, that's the thing. Like, if you can find somewhere where it's a home for you, and you can do like 3 8-hour runs, or I don't know, 2 8.5-hour runs, and another slightly shorter one, all depending on your sleep patterns and stuff like that, or get that sort of routine. It's definitely a good spot. Like, that's what I was doing before auto restart. I was finding where I could do like, I'd get like a run to 3 hours, and then I'd get it, like, I balanced it out by how many times I could restart it during the day. I'm kind of like, in the nature of where I work, I have more access to be able to do stuff like that than maybe some other people do. But at the same time, when duty calls, boys, duty comes first. Like, if there's a fire to put out, some machine's broken, or even when you're dealing with stuff, like, there's hundreds of people at my site. Let's say somebody gets injured and you have to do a full investigation into the injury. It's like, obviously I'm not restarting that run. Like, it's like that runs to, or that tower's just dormant, and then all of that optimization that you potentially have has gone out the window. But I did a pretty good job of managing all the shorter runs until I got auto restart. And there was only a few moments there. Like, we got a significant investment into one of my departments, so the departments are broken out into 3. So you got like a slaughter here, and that's my department, and then you got what we call the boning room, which is basically breaking down the carcass into, I suppose, the stuff that you guys would buy on your shelves. And then the last department's like the cold stores, the freezers and everything, and then that's to freeze the product and then quickly get it into containers so that we can send it to the ports and export it. And one of my departments, so my department is a group of departments. The other departments, not so much. So like the freezers is the freezers, the boning room is the boning room, and then my department's like a slaughter, and it's got multiple other departments. So it's got a yards where we accept or like bring them in, like they're coming off the paddock, they go onto the trucks, whatever. They go and wait in the yards before they go to the slaughter, and then off the slaughter we've got 3 other departments, and then at the end of the slaughter I've got a chiller that's under my department, and then it moves over as it progresses to the boning room. So it kind of comes like like a linear path. Like if you imagine it comes from the paddock or like an animal on the farm, and then it progresses through, it gets slaughtered, the carcass gets processed, and then it goes to a freezer, and then it's off. And it's just like, it's just going around like that. It's a machine. It's the real tower, boys. So we do about, not that much relative to the market, but I think we do about, let's say like $1 million a year. We're doing about $1 million a year. $1 million a year at our site. And then we've got all the other sites within the company. And then like outside of the company, we've got like all the horizontal companies. So like everything where like you further process, like let's say stuff that gets turned into fertilizer, it's like we own that company. The stuff that gets turned into the things that you make dog biscuits out of, we own those companies. We own like all the side companies. Where all the hides go, so where you further process the hides, whether it's going to get turned into leather or whether it gets turned into like sheepskins or wool or whatever, we own all those companies too. So like the company that I belong to specifically is like one little chunk of a web of multiple other companies, and it's basically designed horizontally within that industry. So they bought up, so like the easiest way, and you've also got to think about taxes as well, so that's another thing, but the easiest way to make things the most profitable is own all the horizontal types of companies that's based around the one that you're within. So they started off as, you know, a meat processing company, and then in time, just as these smaller outfits become like kind of not really viable for that side of the industry as like a supporting part of it, like let's say like the group that process all the leather, it's not really viable for them and it's going to go under. Cool, we buy it, and then now they've got a constant supply. You can, you know, you can change numbers. It's all about how it is on the books. I can't even remember how I got onto that subject. Can't even remember how I got onto that subject. But that's basically, something about restarting the tower. We went from restarting the tower. That's right. So one of my departments got a significant investment. And it was all to break into a market into China. Now the way it kind of works, and it's really hard to describe, but every market is different. And certain markets, the regulations in order for you to get your certificate to export a certain product to them don't make sense. They don't make sense at all. And I feel that a lot of these countries, they do it in a specific way. Not only to control imports and exports, that's obvious a thing. Every single country does that exact same thing because they got to worry about their own local markets and stuff like that. But I feel like a big thing that they do is to basically see if you will commit to the investment. So like if you commit to the investment, and let's say you got to spend like 25 mil in order for them to sign it off so that they will now accept your product, you're pretty committed to supplying it to them. So you're just as invested in this relationship as they are, because you've got shareholders that you have to answer to, and they want to know where their money went, and they want to know where every cent went. Like when it doesn't matter how big that machine is that you're a part of, they want to know every single light bulb that's in the company, because that's just the nature of the beast. That's the only way that you make money, is by knowing what's going on with your money. And so it was extremely hard to go through this process because there's a number of factors involved. And like I've been in the industry for a long enough time that I don't necessarily have to know all the rules because a lot of it's common sense. But because it's also my department and my area, a lot of the buck falls with me. So if something doesn't get it across the line, so if the contractors fail to meet their deadlines and all this sorts of stuff, obviously it's looked at as a part of me. Well, we got this new machine for this new product, and it just wasn't working out, man. We're against the clock. The deadline's clocking up. We've got we're going to get inspected to be able to export this product. And I remember shit was hitting the fan, and I was like, oh no, and I was like really pushing, So it's like, I've got 3 days to get this done, and this product needs to be perfect. And I just remember it was like, this wasn't working, and that wasn't working, and now this part of the machine's broken, and then, now you've got all these different regulations and stuff that you also have to comply with, and then you've got your existing product. And I remember like one day I was down in the room, and I was like looking at all these problems, and I felt like for that product, I felt like the whole world was collapsing in front of me, and it's like, how the fuck am I going to do it? And then all I could think about in my head was, I need to restart my tower run. Because I didn't have auto restart. I didn't have the auto restart, and all I was thinking in my head was like, damn, you want to know a real problem? Let's not worry about this product. The real problem is my tower isn't alive. And I remember we were all around this machine, and we're like going hard. And we're like, oh, we could try this, we could move this. What about we change the setting to this? What about we get this operator over here? Or we'll ring up these guys, these contractors can come down. We'll change the code to the, like, anything like you can think of to be like, how do we solve this problem? With our powers combined, how do we solve this problem? And we're like going so hard, and I remember like mind blanking at a point and just being like, how do I pretend that I need to go toilet so I can restart my tower? How do I tap out of this for 3 minutes while the whole world's collapsing just so I can restart my tower? I was so thankful that I got auto restart. So thankful. Damn, that dude just stripped all of my energy shields. Spin the Skull 11th with 1173, trying to get one more time to see if I can get higher. Good luck, man. 11's really good too. 11's really good too. For tier 17, I start with 0 damage and Chain Lightning off. Poison Swamp Plus off. At wave 5000, I turn Chain Lightning and Poison Swamp Plus on, and I let it finish on its own. Tier 18, my damage is either too high or too low. I need damage slider. Dude, you need damage slider. If you are managing your damage like that, you absolutely need damage slider. You are too yoked. You're too buff. You're too buff, fam. What's your bracket? It's looking pretty good. We'll check after this. Actually, I should probably slow it down. Ah, maybe I should have left it going fast. Damn, TTG is real life. This department, guys, he's missed the big shot. Bro, I am the warlord of that department. Not only can I do the job 9.5 times out of 10 better than a majority of those fellas, I am the warlord. Everybody is beneath me. They are all my marshmallows. But I got my little crew. 9 times out of 10, I'm just dealing with my team. And I spend a lot of my time trying to mentor my team. Because that's kind of like the whole leadership buzz. Like managing things, managing people, but manage my team. And I try my best to mentor them as much as possible. Like the whole thing is like the machine's so big, the tower's so big and the tower's so strong that it doesn't matter which limb you decapitate, the machine will outlive you. So I always keep in the back of my mind that at the end of the day, this machine, irrespective of if I'm here or not, this machine will carry on. And I always remind my team that too. You're not that special and you're not that important that, you know, you're immune to anything. Because the way the machine's designed is that it will carry on with or without you. You're not special. I think a lot of people forget that in the world. That society will carry on. You are the main character only in your own book. You're only the main character in your book. Oh, I got chipped from something. Was that a range? No way I got chipped. It was that protector area pulled in a range. Well, that was rubbish. Do I try one more? 12:33. It's worth a nudge, man. If you feel like you can get it, it's definitely worth a nudge. Clara used to have the poor man's auto restart. Tell his employees to click restart while he's in a meeting. Dude, I used to tell people to click on health too. Bro, I'd like text people, and I used to have a spare phone, and I like text the boys. Brother, when I run into the office and and just give it a, and just click the max on the health. Just max the health out. Start with regen first, then max out the health. Just do it all the time, dude. Straight up. Now it just does its own thing. It's a very lovely part to play it, to be in the game. And they need to do something about it. 1000%. I don't know anybody that has auto restart that doesn't believe that same thing too. And if they say otherwise, they're just a dickhead. Like, bro, it should just be a given. Everybody should have it. There's a number of things locked behind the Harmony Vault that people should have. Finally finished Black Hole Cooldown. Took so long. Congrats, dude. Bro, that's what's up. That's what's up. I still feel like it's one of my favorite looking ultimate weapons. Now I'm going to start working on GT and Deathwave cooldowns. Get it, big dog. See, that's what happened before. Am I pointing at it? That's what happened before. A protector pulled in a range and it stole my demon mode. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Let's see what our standard damage is. Standard damage is 40s. We're working on trying to get bot presets, but I need more keys. Dude, it's so many, it's so expensive. It's so expensive, bro. I mean, I suppose with the power that it gives, it probably should be expensive, but damn. That's easier said than done. It's easier said than done. I just gotta sit there and just forget that it's a thing, and then one day turn around, anxiously just wait for my turn to get the presets. 52 meters? 52 minutes? 53 for more bot respec. Bro, bot respec's so good. I need it for tournament. 100% tournament, farm, dissonance. The thing that I want the most is workshop presets. That's the thing that I want the most. This probably like the best. The thing that I have the most impact will be bot presets. But the thing that my heart wants is bot presets. I don't even think I've started. I don't even think I've started my journey for The bot presets. I don't have Golden Bot at the moment. Don't have Golden Bot. What do you mean you don't have Golden Bot? Could have Golden Bot. I got 58 save for bot respecs. I think I have a 66 after this tourney, so I need 44. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it super fast, Taylor. You're gonna get it super fast, dude. Especially with the waves that you get. Preset is more important. Preset's more important than Golden Bot. Expected to flame bot and bot. No Golden Bot for me for the next month. Damn. What does your bot look like? Like, how much medals do you have to put into bot? Or do you put a majority into bot and less into flame bot? Like, what consumes? I suppose what I'm asking is what sucks most of the medals up? Is it the flame bot or the bot? Oh no, here comes the protector. No, look, sucks it in, boom, chip. Bang, there it is. Oh well. Alright, got chipped by something. What was it? A basic! Got killed by a basic. It was probably charged up from that, what's that orange thing? Why am I thinking Saboteur? Commander. Alright, let's have a look at the bracket. So, looking like... $470 to stay in. Maybe 900 for keys. 900 give or take for keys. And look, we just settle for that. Oh, no, don't want to do another run. We'll call it there, boys. Ally, we want not bounty. We want summon and we want fetch. 89. What can we get? Boom. Don't even know if I was supposed to click that one, but we're going to do it anyway. Can we get anything in here? No. This is what it is. So yeah, it is 75,000. My bracket nearly looks the same. That's a pretty good bracket. 400 odd to stay in. What do we say? About 900 for keys. It's a pretty good bracket. What's the top guy sitting at? 2,500? 2,500? No marshmallow bracket for us this time. That is a marshmallow bracket, isn't it? This is a marshmallow bracket. Or is this not a marshmallow bracket? I thought the average was around 400 to stay in, and I think 800 for keys. Is that's the average these days? 900 for keys is extreme. Oh, dude, I've been doing it wrong then. Look, I got 1400. Almost didn't get keys. Oh no, I've been playing it wrong. I'm playing it at the wrong time, guys. I'm playing it all wrong. 900 for keys is a rip-off. What do I want to do? Restore this. I've been playing it all wrong, boys. Been getting ripped off. Restore, yes. Restore. And then we need to... Is that right? No, that's wrong. Alright. I think that's good. Alright. Change this. Oh. Locks. And not only locks, I also have to turn my black hole on. Because I've done it a number of times and I forget to turn the black hole on. Can't forget about the black hole, boys. I will adjust the orbs. Boom. And we should be good to go. Retry. Boom. We're in action. We're in action. Kalak is the guy in my guild. Let's have a look-see. This dude? Wow, I thought his name was Kahulk. What's his name? Kalak. I thought his name was Kahulk. I was like, oh, the Skull Army. Oh, yes, look. Sven the Skull. The Skull Army. I thought his name was Kahulk. I was like, oh, the big guy. Oh, Kahulk. Even sounds like a tough name. Turn these toggles off, boys. We don't need to see this gobbledygook. It is all about optimize. It's all fun and games until you want to get the keys. 100%. 100%. Especially if you see something that you want. Then it's like, oh no. You forgot to add the level to your sysmod? Shit, did I? Oh no, it's already got it. It's already got levels in it. Already got levels in it. So we're sitting at about the same econ. About 36Q. Sitting around the same. And mainly because I need to pick up the masteries. I need to pick up the last econ masteries. They should give us some good bang for buck. And what else do we need to do, boys? I need to go for perma black hole. I'll need a lot of reroll shards saved though. We need to go perma black hole, GT plus, death wave quant. Ah man, there's just so much to do. So much to do. Not that one, your ACP. I don't quite need it at the moment. I don't quite need it at the moment. Coin Mastery will bring you up. Yeah, I'm super excited for Coin Mastery. Yeah man, I can't wait for it. Like honestly. It's quite pricey, but hey, what are we to do? I just want to be able to afford these labs a bit better. I'm like, I just have to like not spend anything and just let the labs do their thing, which is utility, because that's a real long lab. I'm going to do this core bonus for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to switch it out to working on the triangle. Coin Mastery's God tier? Oh damn, I've been missing out. Your tier 7 multiplier is 50 higher than mine, and you got more playtime. The only thing I can think of with that is maybe enhancements or utility dissonance. Like my enhancements is, where is it? 1.75, and the only big thing that will make a difference would be dissonance or coin mastery, which I don't have yet. What is it for tier 17? Not bad. I feel like I need to rerun these. Like, look at this one. This one's 4300 and that one's 4300. Obviously we could smash that one if we've got the same on the next one. It's one of those things where it's like I have to remind myself that I have to be doing them, and it's like I just can't be bothered. I'd rather just let the game idle and play, but every now and then I find a little window. Like I think last weekend I found a little window on Saturday, and it's like, you know what? I feel like just knocking some of these out, or just having a test to see how it goes. Right, I didn't do any. I farmed coins for a month. Your defense disco runs. My defense discos. Where is it? Yeah, blank. Wow, this one pissed me off. I did this one twice. I did it for the death ray mission, what I was talking about earlier, that when the death ray mission comes up, I might just slap it on and then do one of these runs. And I did the same tier 13 twice. I was so pissed. I was like, what a waste of 4 hours. What a waste. I did my defense disco runs. Utility disco runs are so powerful if you can get to 5k. 4250 is only 75%. The last 750 is 25% of bonus. Damn. One thing that really pisses me off is the RNG of protectors on the utility. That's what pisses me off on the ultimate weapon one. The ultimate weapon one, protectors ultimate, are so annoying. Like, I can't believe how annoying they are. Like, you can be going absolutely fine and then you just get wrecked from some stupid RNG. But I think, yeah, next thing on the list is coin mastery, extra orb mastery, maybe the last click in death wave cooldown, maybe, and then poison swamp. I'm just thinking about it in time wise. It's about 2000. What is it? What's the last one? 1400. So 3400 divided by, how many stones do we get a week? 600. $500. Say 550. So 6 weeks. So in 6 weeks' time, we'll move to. In 6 weeks' time, we'll move to Poison Swamp. So that'll be Coin Mastery, Extra Orb Mastery, and Death Wave cooldown. So what's that? What are we now? So about August. August we'll move to Poison Swamp. By then I would have completed a good chunk of the Poison Swamp labs, and yeah, a good chunk of the Poison Swamp labs, and probably onto lab is something else. We should be pretty much finished with those labs. We're in a good spot. Extra Orb Mastery is huge too, and multiplies with Coin Mastery. I am looking forward to it, big guy. I'm looking forward to having these toys. And hopefully one day we'll hit the 100Q an hour. Hopefully one day. We just need a 3x our coins. If we get 3x our coins, we'll be there, boys. We'll be there. But gents, it has been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm thinking about moving the cameras like here in front of me, but I'm thinking about moving it off to the side a bit. Just off to the side a bit, so it'll be more pointing this kind of direction. Maybe a bit lower too. Not like this low. I don't want to be like this to you guys. You guys look up my nose or anything. But then we're a little bit top down at the moment. I just can't find any way how to mount this thing. Like, it's got a little mount and it looks like it's got something it's supposed to screw into, but I don't know exactly what it's supposed to screw into. I'm assuming that's for like some sort of tripod looking thing or something like that. But gents, as always, you guys have been absolutely amazing. Junior, thank you for tuning in. Let's go 1300 waves. Let's go, bro. Let's go. 10th now. Congrats, bro. Congrats. That's some good waves. Gents, I shall leave you guys to it. If you haven't run your tournament, good luck with your tournament. If you have run your tournament, wishing you guys prosperity. And as always, if you like what you see, you know the drill, fam. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you can see when the next video is coming out. And as always, keep it cloudy, fam.